Coming up on WWE Confidential, we're your hookup, a candid interview with Scott Steiner.
Some say I'm a loose cannon, but I'm not. I know exactly what I'm doing.
And the world's best get together for the Kurt Angle Classic.
I need more amateur wrestlers because, I hate to say it, but not too many guys in the WWE can go with me. They can't do the wrestling around the technique that I do.
Hi everyone, I'm Gene Okerlund, and this is WWE Confidential. Survivor Series will emanate tomorrow night from a sold-out Madison Square Garden in New York City. The anticipation level is off the chart for this one. The Elimination Chamber match and the apparatus itself will be worth the price of admission alone. With 6 men vying for the World Heavyweight title in a structure designed specifically to inflict pain. You know, this is going to be like nothing we've ever witnessed before. As we speak, the chamber is being fully assembled, and all 10 tons are being raised to the ceiling at Madison Square Garden. We'll have more on the Elimination Chamber and the Survivor Series a little bit later on. But first up tonight, Scott Steiner. He is a man of many monikers: Big Papa Pump, the Genetic Freak, and my personal favorite, Big Bad Booty Daddy. What can I say? I could relate to that one. For more than 2 years, he's also been called one of the hottest free agents on the worldwide market. As we found out a couple of weeks ago, the bidding war is over, but the battle for his services is still underway. Will Scott Steiner be a part of Raw or SmackDown? Stephanie McMahon and Eric Bischoff have been bidding for his services in a somewhat surprising manner. No question, Steiner is an impact player, and he will be an immediate contender for either the World Heavyweight Championship or the WWE Championship. Whichever way he decides to go, Big Papa Pump already has WWE fans around the globe freaking out.
I think I'm the best because I think I want it more.
Here comes the pinnacle of wrestling.
There's something for me to prove, and I like proving myself.
The man is awesome, and the man knows it. Big Papa Pump is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
The people that don't know me have either lived under a rock or in a cave.
I'm Big Papa Pump.
Scott Steiner.
Genetic Freak. Big Bad Booty Daddy.
My freaks call me Big Bad Booty Daddy. You know, take your pick. I always live life to the fullest. Always go balls to the wall because you never know when it's all going to end.
Scott Steiner's insane. Doesn't have respect for anybody or anything.
Some say I'm a loose cannon, but I'm not. I know exactly what I'm doing. I've always had a wild hair up my ass, and until I feel it's time to shut it down, I will. But, I'm a free spirit, man. I just got to do what I got to do, and when my time's done, then I'll shut it down. But as far as then, bet your ass I'm going balls to the wall. The last couple of years, I've been getting stronger every day, getting bigger. I want to take my body to its fullest potential. I'm still in my prime right now. I'm getting stronger, faster every day. And as long as I keep pushing the poundage that I'm pushing, I'll keep on going.
Scott Steiner from right here in Michigan, signing with the WWE last week.
Time was everything. I was enjoying my life. There was some challenges out there, and it's time for me to get back in the game.
Big Papa Pump, right here, Raw, that's where you need to be, baby. Scotty, holla if you hear me, man. Come to SmackDown. This is where you need to be, the cool show.
Well, if I had my choice to go to either Raw or SmackDown, it's hard to say because right now, if I went to Raw, the champion there is Triple H. If I went to SmackDown, it's Brock Lesnar. Believe it or not, I would make it look easy, and I would look good doing it, beating those guys, because they rely on power.
Look at the power, the power.
How are you going to outpower me?
It appears to me, Scott Steiner, he's going to be joining Raw.
Because I'm the guy that's going to sign him.
Would I have a problem with working with Eric? I never had a problem with Eric. He knew what I was capable of, and he let me do it. He let me develop my character. I developed the way it should be done, and that's the way I did it, and he didn't hold me back, so I appreciate that. Do I plan on delivering here? Hell yeah, because I feel like I got unfinished business here. Plus, there's challenges out there that I've never faced. My main goal is to, some people would say, win the title. Yeah, that'd be nice, but it all depends who it's against. Do I want to be the world champion of Timbuktu? No. I want to be the world champion of something that means something, and that was with somebody with credibility. So when I win the title, I want it to be against somebody that people see as a force in wrestling. Message to my freaks.
So this goes to all my freaks out there!
For those who know me, know what's coming. Those who don't, be afraid, because it is on, and there's only two things that I care about, my freaks and my peaks, and it's going to be interesting, because I'm back.
Up next, Kurt remembers his amateur roots with the Kurt Angle Classic.
Wrestling is the oldest sport in the world. It derives back to the Greeks when sport first came alive. Obviously, they wrestled until death back then.
Besides winning every title in the WWE faster than anyone in history, Kurt, as we all know, is an NCAA champion and the only Olympic gold medalist in WWE history. He's the real deal, if you will. The key to his success has always been an uncompromising competitive fire. Angle credits his experience in amateur wrestling for stoking that fire, a key factor in who he has become today. So in part, to give back to the sport that has given so much to him, Kurt lent his name to a very special amateur wrestling event, the Kurt Angle Classic. It's the best amateur wrestlers in the United States versus the best amateur wrestlers in the rest of the world. Last weekend, the likes of reigning Olympic champion Rulon Gardner joined the #1 ranked men and women in each weight class down in New Orleans for the inaugural Kurt Angle Classic.
I'm here at the Show of Strength with my good friend Tyler. He's an amateur wrestler, of course. We're gonna go check out the trade show. You wanna come with me, Tyler?
Yeah.
Come on, let's go. Who's your buddy?
Yeah.
You wanna try any? No?
No.
Who's your best friend?
Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing? Who's the strongest man in the world?
Yeah.
Thank you. Nice to see you. Thanks, guys. Who's unstoppable?
Yeah.
I love this kid. Hey, Kale, how are you, man? Real good. Thanks for coming to the event.
I try to stay as much involved in amateur wrestling as I can. Having an event like the Kurt Angle Classic definitely gives back to wrestling. This whole thing was all about promoting the sport of amateur wrestling, getting funds to the amateur wrestlers. Amateur wrestling is the pure wrestling, and obviously it's real competition.
There are Czechoslovakians, Bulgarians here, Canadians, the Russians, Japanese. It's great to see different parts of the world coming together and having a special event like this.
It's a skill that's been done for thousands of years.
It's just a true sport of conditioning, of strength, of technique.
There's nobody else out there but you and your opponent.
You can't really find a more competitive event than a wrestling match.
It's two individuals out there doing the best they can.
When you go to an amateur wrestling event, it's just knock down, drag out, just two guys brawling and wrestling.
If you get beat, it's your fault.
When you're on the mat with someone that's trying to rip your head off, you want to rip their head off.
And it's just being physical, and that's not always fun, but if you look back and you really think about it, that's what I enjoy.
And when the whistle blows, give it everything you got, and at the end, hopefully you get your hand raised.
The attitude when I decided to join the World Wrestling Entertainment industry, it was, don't do it. Don't sell out. Everybody here that's here today has been dead against me crossing over from amateur wrestling to sports entertainment.
I think, people say, well, Kurt Angle, he did an injustice to the sport of wrestling by going over to professional. And people say he's lost who he is.
Basically, what I do now is pure entertainment. It's not real competition, and it's definitely not professional amateur wrestling.
I think it was a great decision for him because he's taken what he's accomplished in amateur wrestling and transitioned right over.
What I tried to explain is that I wasn't selling out, I was choosing another career path.
He did everything he could in amateur wrestling, so he moved on and he did a great job for himself.
In the WWE, you're entertaining people. You're putting on a show and an athletic standpoint. So they're very different. In WWE, you have to slow it down. In amateur wrestling, you hit a move so quickly, Fans are more impressed by what they don't see than what they actually see. If an amateur wrestler hits a move on the other guy and you can't see it, you're like, oh my gosh, that was awesome, I didn't even see it. You do that in the WWE and you're not gonna have a job very long. Now, I think amateur wrestlers and the amateur wrestling community is starting to understand this isn't wrestling. This is sports entertainment. This is not just wrestling, it's every sport put together. It's a soap opera, stories, it's a show. You have everything put into one. That's sports entertainment. It has nothing to do with amateur wrestling. It's a different career. I think they're starting to understand that. And they're starting to respect it because I've been able to give them exposure. Now you're seeing more amateur wrestlers cross over, which I'm very proud of.
The more wrestlers we get in the WWE, the more we can enhance sports entertainment by using amateur wrestling skills. I'm really excited to be able to come here and scout out the prospects.
What you're going to get from an amateur wrestler is the drive, the dedication, the desire to be the best. They don't like to be second best. You know, when I came into sports entertainment, I didn't just want to be considered one of the guys. I wanted to be the guy. That's how all these guys are. They're very selfish. And they're out for themselves, and they want to be the very best.
Well, my name is Rulon Gardner.
My name's Kel Sanderson.
My name is Kerry McCoy.
Originally from Afton, Wyoming.
I grew up in Heber City, Utah.
2-time NCAA champion, 3-time All-American for Penn State University.
I won 4 NCAA titles and went 159-0.
I was the first wrestler to ever win a world and Olympic gold medal in back-to-back years.
Not all amateur wrestlers are going to make great professional wrestlers. I think there's a certain instinct about an amateur wrestler that's a little too dangerous, a little too aggressive to be a professional wrestler. A guy like Kel Sanderson, I think that he has the ability to cross over from amateur wrestling to pro wrestling, but his biggest days in amateur wrestling are ahead of him.
Wow, man. He just spanked the Olympic champion.
He could go out for the next 2-3 Olympics and win them. He's one of the most talented, most successful amateur wrestlers in the history of wrestling. If not, he's the absolute most successful.
McCoy is a wrestler, 2-time national champion from Penn State. I know the WWE's had interest in him.
Geez, that guy was talking slack on me when we were wrestling amateur. He'd be a great professional wrestler. He's a guy that has so much athletic ability. He's a well-spoken individual. He has a lot of charisma. I could see him making the crossover really well.
I honestly think that if he put his mind to it, he could be the next Kurt Angle or the Brock Lesnar. He's a very slick wrestler, one of the most athletic guys I've ever wrestled. I think I've always had his number, and I think that gets to him a little bit. It could get a little personal in the WWE if he decides to join.
I think if I had a character, the only thing would be was just to avenge my loss to Kurt back in '96.
I'd like Kerry McCoy to join the WWE so I could whoop his ass one more time. It seems like the curiosity to go from amateur to pro wrestling is becoming more in demand. A lot of guys are wondering if they should take that step. I'm encouraging all of them to, and I'll give them any advice they want.
Kurt called me a few times after I won the gold in Sydney, and he said, hey, it'd be a good opportunity for you.
Your heavyweight hero, Rulon Gardner.
Rulon Gardner, here's a guy, his strength in amateur wrestling has been that he does not get tired. He can wear down any person. He can go forever.
I think Rulon will be great. I mean, he's shown that he's a leader. He's shown that he's a hero here in the United States of America. He's shown that he's an ambassador. I think he'd do tremendous in the WWE. I'd love to be able to face him, and I wish him all the best. I hope he ends up with us.
Yeah, I'd love to get in the ring with Kurt Angle. I'd like to be able to see overall what he has. I mean, I could just lock him up and throw him around a little bit.
I need more amateur wrestlers because, I hate to say it, but not too many guys in the WWE can go with me. They can't do the wrestling around the technique that I do. You got a Chris Benoit that can do it, an Eddie Guerrero can do it, and a Brock Lesnar that can do it. If you bring more amateur wrestlers into it, you're going to see a completely different style of wrestling that I think fans are going to enjoy.
There's a lot of great athletes in here that can make the transition. I think the question is what's their passion?
To see another amateur wrestler, I would love to see it, and I think it can happen. But is there another Kurt Angle or Brock Lesnar? Yeah, there might even be somebody that's even better, and I welcome that.
When we return, Life on the Road with Bubba Ray Dudley.
Where you going? High five! High five! High five! Yeah!
Who hasn't imagined what it would be like to be a WWE superstar? Limousines, paparazzi, fancy hotel rooms, adoring fans, Trust me on this one, folks. That part is pretty cool. But it's not always as glamorous as you might think. Oh, sure, there are those occasions when you feel, well, you feel like a superstar. But the day-to-day grind can be anything but glamorous, as Bubba Ray Dudley shows us in this week's Confidential Road Diary.
Me and Spike left Penn State at 10:15 last night, and we made it 200 miles from Penn State to Philadelphia in 2 hours and 45 minutes. We were hauling some major ass.
I'm Bubba Ray Dudley. That's my brother Spike. Welcome to Confidential. The glamorous life of pro wrestlers. You're gonna be on the road as much as we are. You might as well stay in a place that's really nice. And here's my Marriott Gold Card. I think I have enough points to buy 2.5 Marriotts. Basically 4 to 5 nights a week. This is home, the hotel room. That's it. Good night. Good morning. How are you? Oh, not much. I just have a whole film crew in my room. They want to get a flavor of what life on the road is all about.
I have a girlfriend, soon to be a wife, who is very accepting of what I do. Every wrestler that works full-time on the Raw or SmackDown crew is on the road 275 days a year. This business is so tough on a relationship, it's not even funny. You can't fathom it. I told my girlfriend once, I said, if you're gonna ever break up with me or leave me, please don't do it because of the business.
Love you, love you. Bye.
There really is no normal in the life of a sports entertainer, pro wrestler. There is no normal. That's a word that I gave up a long time ago. I like to call it the most exciting, boring life in the world. All the guys have the same routine. It's like when you become a wrestler, they give you the handbook on what to do, you know, when you're on the road. You drive, you sleep, you eat, you train, you wrestle, and then you do it all over again.
All right, let's go to the gym.
I'll do 45 minutes of cardio today. And I try to do 45 minutes of cardio 4 to 5 days a week.
If you want to succeed in this business, you have to do lots of cardio. I'm starving. Let's go eat. No, we don't want cheesesteaks. I just did 45 minutes of cardio. I don't think I want to go eat a cheesesteak. Let's go to the First Union Center and let's entertain the wrestling fan. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. My God. Where are you going? High five! High five! High five! Yeah!
Get to an arena and find out who I'm working with. It's always kind of exciting thing to do. The quality of guys here, it's always great. Very rarely do you work with a guy that you don't have chemistry with.
We go to walk out. You know, the fans always...
I stop you.
Exactly. No, we
ain't going nowhere.
We in Philly, you know what I mean? Let's get booyah, give it to him. Like
We can do that. A guy that may not be able to go to a Monday Night Raw, but can bring his family to a house show, expects to see the same performance in ring as he does on his TV every Monday night.
Thought it went really well. People were definitely into it. They got a little surprise on the end with Booker doing his spinneroonie and then me doing the Bubba-rooney, if you will. Philadelphia is really where Bubba Ray Dudley and the Dudley boys got their start and evolved into what we are today. Coming back here, you always want to just put just a little extra vinegar on it, a little extra, spice it up a bit. And it felt good out there tonight. I think everybody got into it. Tonight is actually a very, rare occurrence where our hotel is real close by. We're going to stay in that same Marriott again tonight. Tomorrow we have a 1 o'clock show in Hershey, Pennsylvania at a brand new building. We're going to do the drive in the morning. We've been following each other around all day long, and I kind of need some downtime right now. I just need, me time. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning because I'm sure you'll be knocking on my door at 7:30. The road can hypnotize you, just constantly in that car, constantly driving. Same people, same faces. That one Bon Jovi song, it's all the same, only the names will change. That's it. This is a better idea of the way we eat when we're on the road. You catch a rest stop here, a 7-Eleven there, and you try to eat as good as possible, which is not gonna happen here. We're making pretty good time. We're only about 20 of 10, we're only about 50 miles away.
Thank you. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you.
I already won this. I'm the master of the crane game. Right, Otto? Yeah, I'm the master. Oh, sweet. What a good morning this is.
What you're looking at right now is probably the most excitement we've had in the past 2 days. Tommy Dreamer, being the master of the rest stop crane game, took $3 and won 5 stuffed animals. Day 3, 11:30. We're half an hour early to the house show. Gonna drive to Harrisburg, where we flew into a couple of days ago. It's only about 15 miles away. We're gonna take a charter flight over to Cincinnati.
Very, very, very important. Don't leave the gate area because
we're delayed. That 5:30 charter turned into a 10 o'clock charter. Basically, we had to humor ourselves for 4 hours.
I live in Gettysburg.
Gettysburg, where they had the Gettysburg Address?
What's your address?
Our forefathers came to these shores.
Folks, welcome to Cincinnati. The jetway drivers pull the jetway up now.
5 minutes to 11. We're supposed to be here at 6:45. Hope you had a fun day. It was a little bit grueling for me, but all in all, it's the best job in the world. See you in the morning. 12:15.
Up next, the most memorable moments from Survivor Series past.
The kid was a nervous wreck when he walked out there, and he had every right to be.
Tomorrow night is the big night, the WWE's annual Fall Spectacular. The Survivor Series from the Mecca of sports entertainment, Madison Square Garden in New York City. You've got the Elimination Chamber, the WWE Championship match between Brock Lesnar and The Big Show, a tag team triple threat match, and the one that I'm looking forward to, the hardcore match between Victoria and Trish Stratus. We've seen what these two have done to each other already. What's going to happen in a hardcore match when absolutely anything goes? And it's for the women's title. No question, there will be plenty of memorable moments tomorrow evening. But before we go forward, we thought we'd take a look back at some of the most memorable moments from the previous 15 Survivor Series.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Survivor Series.
The original Survivor Series concept was kind of formatted out of the necessity to try and capitalize on the huge desire to see Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant go face-to-face again.
That role, that popularity of the Hulkster, of Andre and everything, it was just mushrooming.
That's Andre and the Hulkster face-to-face, toe-to-toe.
Undertaker's debut in 1990 with Brother Love. That's a night I'll never forget.
Without a doubt, the greatest Survivor Series moment ever.
Look at the size of that ham hock!
And of course, Undertaker with his mystique all built around him. That night, you could really tell that The Undertaker was going to take off and be a major, major icon in sports entertainment.
Now there's going to be the man right there. That's Blue Chipper right there.
I think the first time that everyone set eyes on Dwayne Johnson, they saw a huge star. There was so much history there with Rocky's grandfather and his father in Madison Square Garden in the WWE that you just saw magic that night.
Making his World Wrestling Federation debut, the most celebrated real athlete.
Kurt Angle's debut in '99 was spectacular. You could tell that night that Kurt Angle had every ingredient that was desired to become a major player in the world of sports entertainment.
And Kurt, just being himself, was such a natural heel that you fell in love with him.
You do not do Olympic gold medals. I'm the best in the world. Wow, you talk about controversy. Michaels with a sharpshooter has become the champion.
Nobody quite knew what was going on that night. What made this incident stand out more than anything else wasn't the shock value, it was the realism in it. It's as real as you can get in sports entertainment. I think it ranks right up there with one of the most memorable moments, not only Survivor, but sports entertainment history.
Michaels has become the champion, and Bret Hart is standing in disbelief. What is this? Bret Hart. Wait a minute. Good God Almighty! For God's sakes! That car just ran over Austin! That car just ran over Austin!
I think that outside of the ring, maybe one of the most memorable experiences was Stone Cold getting hit by the car in the parking lot in Detroit.
Talk to me, Steve. Stevie Harrison. The game's in that car! Ought to disrupt the game from that machine!
2000 Survivor Series was in Tampa, Florida, my hometown, when Stone Cold dropped Triple H's Hot Rod Lincoln from the left.
Stone Cold Steve Austin hoisted Triple H's car up on a forklift, and it was a special forklift that would like raise it really, really high, and it was just a tremendous sight. See Stone Cold behind the controls and see Triple H so high up in the air and see this nice brand new Lincoln Continental be dropped to the floor.
Briscoe Brothers Body Shop had the honor of keeping the car in Tampa for a few months afterwards, and you can't believe the amount of fans that came by to take a picture of the car, to see the car, and the damage that was done to it. So it has a great memory in my mind because it was in my hometown, and we kind of got some of the residual effects from it there at Briscoe Brothers.
When we return,
You want to shoot me in the shower, but you can't jump in the shower with me? It'll be fun.
All right, let's go.
welcome back to Confidential. And now, the continuation of the Bubba Ray Dudley Road Diary.
I love doing this. Every time that we'll be on the road and I'll pass somebody working on the side of the road or some kind of work, I thank God. This is great.
Hopefully Cincinnati has a really good crowd tonight, and they're live and they're excited and they're ready to see Raw. I'll see you later. Take care. Be good. I'm very thankful to guys like Arn and the other agents who come to me and let me know what's going on early. I got to the building today, went to catering, had a bite to eat, spoke to the agent, Arn, for tonight's match. We've been out in the middle of the arena, going over stuff for the past couple hours. I'll sit down with Spike, especially to make sure that we're both on the same page exactly. Raw obviously is live. You want to go out and tear the house down and entertain the people and have the people going crazy for you on live TV. Everybody in the back is sitting there going, okay, pyro's gonna go off, pyro's gonna go off, pyro's gonna go off. Everybody's covering their ears because they're, pyro's gonna explode. I'm standing as close to the pyro as possible, just listening to the bombs explode. Laughing to myself, saying, yeah, I'm gonna be deaf by the time I'm 35, but wow, this is cool as right now. The line rocket goes, the explosions happen, me, Spike, and Jeff go through the curtain, and that's when Bubba Ray Dudley truly comes out and truly emerges. I want it to come off perfect, obviously, for the sake of the show and for the sake of all the characters in the match. Money, money, money. Hold on. Saw Arn Anderson, a couple of the other agents, everybody loved it. Said it came off very well, it was very exciting. We really accomplished what we set out to do. Watching just me for 4 days is basically telling you what every other guy goes through. I'm 31 years old. I get to do exactly what I want to do with my life. Since I was a little kid, I always wanted to be a pro wrestler. I'm enjoying the journey.
When we return, the technological terror that is the Elimination Chamber.
You can't manhandle it, it's unforgiving, and it will hurt you when you hit it.
We now know that the Elimination Chamber match will involve Kane, RVD, Chris Jericho, Booker T, Shawn Michaels, and the World Heavyweight Champion, Triple H. 2 superstars will begin the match, and 4 others will be locked inside 4 smaller interior chambers within the structure. Then, every 5 minutes, another superstar will be released. Eric Bischoff himself will determine the order of the competitors, and that order is a closely guarded secret. As far as the structure itself goes, there's still a lot of mystery surrounding it.
The Elimination Chamber is going to look like a steel hell. I've been in the construction business my whole life, and I haven't seen anything like this.
An ingenious creation from the mind of Eric Bischoff.
The whole thing's made out of structural grade steel. There is no give, there is no flex, there is no getting out. 36-foot diameter, exactly 2 miles of chain. It's 16 feet, the roof to the floor. Total weight, 10 tons.
Steel hell.
Can't manhandle it, it's unforgiving, there is no getting out, and it will hurt you when you hit it. It's not going to be a whole lot of fun for these guys.
At Survivor Series, you will bear witness to the Elimination Chamber.
I can't wait for that matchup tomorrow night. It's going to be one for the record books. By the way, earlier this week, USA Today reported that Governor Jesse Ventura may be replacing Phil Donahue on a new talk show for MSNBC. The usually outspoken, sometimes outrageous, but always entertaining Ventura will no doubt be a huge hit. And who knows, maybe this time Vince McMahon could be his sidekick. I happen to know that Vince looks dashing in a feather boa. Next week, we're going to have a special look at WWE Anthology. The 3-CD set was released earlier this week, and it's off to a rousing start. We'll talk to the people who made the music that shaped the very fabric of the WWE over the past 3 decades. That's all for this week. Hey, don't forget, watch the WWE Survivor Series tomorrow night. And again, I remind you, if you see and hear it here, it's confidential.